Good morning everybody, Saturday 15th of September, and I know that because there's two birthdays tomorrow. One my son's partner and Alfie's younger brother, but who knows where in the world he might be at the moment. If I look a bit off, it's because I am a bit off. I've been having a weep. And I haven't been well this week again. I've had to take quite a lot of pain medication, which has kept me out of action, and I haven't seen Alfie every day, so that sort of knocked everything about me. Alfie probably may not realise it, but it sort of knocked the continuity, and I don't know, I just don't like it when I don't get there to see him. I also, just thinking, what happens when weak or evil people are put into positions of power? I'm not talking about great positions of power. We all know where that leads to, with bankers' crashes and wars and the Illuminati and all the rest of it. But I'm talking about in comparatively minor positions of power, but nevertheless those positions still holding sway in that they can affect people's lives adversely. I'm in such a position at the moment. I've been told that I owe almost £100 in an overpayment that was made to me when Alfie entered the nursing home. It's a load of rubbish. I owe them nothing. But the onus isn't on the council or the Department of Works to say that, to prove that I do owe it. The onus is on me to prove that I don't owe it. And to do that, it's going to be well nigh impossible. Or at least, if I do it, it's going to take up a hell of a lot of time, cause me a hell of a lot of heartache and headache going through paperwork. Do I want to do it? The answer is no. And of course this is what these people bank on happening. I know when they tried to fiddle us out of 20,000 or so, some years ago, I fought tooth and nail. It brought out a side in me that, well, I was aware that I was a fighter, but I wasn't quite aware of the extent I would go to, which was to radio stations, newspapers, politicians, as well as one-woman demonstrations outside council offices, writing articles, all sorts of stuff that I did. And it was finally proven that I didn't owe them £15,000-20,000. They actually owed me £5,000. That had to be dealt with because it was such a lot of money. But this, I think the path of least resistance is going to be to let it go, pay them back as they want to be paid at £12 a week. What's that? Just under $20 a week. And it stings, the fact that I don't owe them this damn money. But I really don't have the energy to fight these bureaucrats at the moment, with so much going on in my life, with my own issues, which I don't talk about on here. Not really. With Alfie. and my immediate family. And then, of course, there's my younger brother with his cancer diagnosis and who isn't well at all. So when these people who have no conscience, who are little people with not too big a brain, are put into positions of where they can wield a little bit of power, they do so, and they couldn't care less who it hurts. And that's why they're given the job, because they're people who don't think for themselves. I spoke to 3 separate people during the week, and each one of them, I could have written down what each one of them wrote and compared and seen that it was from a script. And that's what they want. People who can't think for themselves, who have no conscience, and who will do the dirty job of the government for them. We've got the Bank of England, the Governor of the Bank of England now saying that years to come, people probably won't be able to retire, ever. Work till they drop. Maybe we should think about cutting back on the civil list then, where people live in 700-room palaces dotted about the country, where somebody gets a £50 million helicopter for his birthday, and where birds are bought in at a cost of £10,000 for a day's shoot. Blood sports. I saw last week that Prince George, little Prince George, 5-year-old, was taken on his first grouse shooting expedition at, was it Balmoral? Last week, a 5-year-old taken on a shoot. I don't know what sort of world we live in, you know. Is it reality? Is it really? Are we living in a parallel universe? Because nothing seems to make sense to me anymore. That we live in a world where, even on YouTube, for example, the bullying that's on YouTube, you've got somebody bullying one woman, somebody coming in to bully the woman who's bullying that woman, somebody else getting in on the act, and then we've got all these people pretending to have these devastating illnesses that they don't have, and taking every opportunity they can to get at somebody else. And it leaves my head in a whirl. Is all this a dream? Are we living a dream, or is it reality? I think I prefer to think of it as a dream and wake up and find that true reality is living in a sane world after all. We experience deeply what it is that influences us personally. And what we influence also obviously affects us personally. We all need to try to be a little bit more positive. I'm not a Pollyanna, and I know that, you know, sometimes the world impacts upon us, as it has with me this week. And we have no choice. we do have a choice in how we react, which is why I've chosen to react to this demand for money in a very, I could get this out of the bank and give it to them, but I won't. They can take it out of my pension at the rate that they want to take it out, which is about $12.50 a week. What's that? £50 a month. That will cause them more hassle in admin costs. They're not going to reduce the amount I pay if I pay it all at once. It's going to cause a little bit of inconvenience. So that's taking a little bit of power back there. Yeah, I might lose some money. On the other hand, I'm not allowing myself to go through all that hassle. And also, I'm causing them work. Everybody needs to complain. Everybody needs to take some of their power back. That's all for today. Don't let people walk all over you. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes you're impacted and it can't be helped. Just try to take a little bit of power back in whatever way you can. If for no other reason than to cock a snook at bureaucracy and make yourself feel a little bit better. Live in the present. Have a wonderful day. And I'll be back. I'll be back when I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't think it's going to be today and probably not tomorrow. But when I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm just taking a lot of Oromorph at the moment and just having to. So everything's a bit jumbled. I hope what I've said makes sense. I'll post it anyway and hope that it does. I'll speak to you soon and lots of love. Bye bye.